Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Teams with a Twist series for race 3 of 9 from Watkins, Glenn. And joining us for all of the action on commentary is Ray. How are you doing, Ray?
I'm doing very well. Art Pal leading the race with a Rich Blues championship.
Oh, leading the race? Do you want to start again?
Rich Blues in second, and then Nelly in third.
Yeah, that is SRI 4th place, SGP 5th, Twilight 6th, being the leading Group 4 cars.
Yep, and then Jimmy in 7th.
Jason, Demon R, I think we're tied there, but now we're moving on to the team standings. We've got a Twat at the top on 60 points. Then we've got Power Trips in 2nd place, Rod on your Nelly, and Trusting the Speed tied 3rd, Fart Lag in 5th, Jack 2 Wit 6th, Hayraker and the Baby Maker in 7th, and the Ghost Racer in 8th, not having attended yet. Okay, we've got what? Well, that is true. Maybe it was one of the. It might have been a moment. Maybe that's what was causing a bit of the weird crashes in the previous races. It was like the Ghost movie where she's there making a clay pot and he's controlling it for her. Maybe that was what was happening. He was smashing cars off. As we take a look at the grid here at Watkins, Glen.
Yeah, in pole position we've got Art Pal, and then 2nd place Jimmy still up there. Annoying Art Pal. And then we've got Nelly 3rd with Rich Blues 4th, and then a Critical in 5th, followed by a Gary and 6th, Jason 7th, then SGP 8th, and Conrad 9th, and Demon R 10th, Twilight 11th, and SRI 12th.
Yeah, thankfully Gary was able to get on time this week, so hopefully he'll be able to get away and have a better race than last week when he got disconnected. So here we go then, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go! Someone couple of jump starters and now they get going. Oh, that was I think it was Critical and Rich Blues may have jump started. Art Pal's had a blinder, and Nelly trying to do Jimmy round the outside of turn 1. Does Jimmy round the outside of turn 1?
Bit deep there in turn 1, will he get a penalty?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, how much of that curve are the drivers allowed to use?
I don't know.
We'll find out, I suppose.
Rich attacking Jimmy. Rich is looking and Gary's right behind him, so coming up to the chicane, they just want to make sure they get braking points sorted. Oh, I think Critical's touched Gary.
Well, I've seen Rich Blue. I was watching Rich go a little bit wobbly on straight on. Maybe that was from a touch
no, it was Gary. Gary went straight on.
No, Rich Blues, because he's got a penalty.
I bet Gary's went off the thing. He's fell down the order. He's in 6th place now.
I'm guessing Gary must have gone off to the right because Rich went straight on. Unless we're seeing things, but which is highly possible. Okay, so Jimmy behind Nelly. I don't know if Jimmy's been able to get any practice in for this race this week. It looks like Gary's car is lagging around a little bit, or maybe that's when the Ghost Racer is intervening. Is Jimmy?
He was looking there, but I think he's thought better of it. Let's get back.
Sorry, I saw SRI spinning in the background. I think there may have been a little bit of contact between himself and another car. Don't know who it was.
Yeah, Jimmy just try catch it back in early, try and get slipstream down the turn 1 and then turn 1 up to the chicane, hopefully. That'll get him closer.
Jimmy just had a little bit of a rub-in off the wall there. And interestingly, as the background is busy, there's a lot of corners around this track that seem very simple, but they're actually not. It's very easy to get the corners wrong and lose a lot of time. And the final corner is one of them. The final 2 corners look very similar, but they're really not. The left-hander is fast, the right-hander is slower. If you go too quick in, you're going to come out very, very slowly. As Jason trying to attack Twilight down onto the back straight. And given the number of cars we've got on track today, Ray, where do we think the first boost car is going to be?
first boost car. I think probably say here 7th or 8th, maybe.
I think it's 7th.
I don't know, because 8, well, yeah, the boost 7th, because Twilight's able to keep up with Gary, so he'll be getting some boost and then everybody else is following. Like if Twilight wasn't getting boost, Gary, well, could shoot off in the distance.
Yeah, absolutely. Connor and Jason getting side by side, a bit of a run on Twilight. SGP giving Jason a little bit of a bump draft. Critical closing in on Jimmy. It's a big wobble. Now, a bit of an idea for the viewers of lap times. I think for Art Pal's race, it's off critical. Oh dear, he's stuck in the barrier. Here comes Gary, and now here comes the group 4s. Careful here as he gets his tyres cooled down, cleaned up, and tries to get through these group 4s. It's close between the teammates.
Yeah, and round outside. Jason wants to tuck in behind his teammate and get that slipstream and maybe get closer to the back of the Twilight and Conrad here. As Critical's now cleared the group 4s, so he should disappear up off up the road here.
Well, that's the thing for the group 3s. If you can be ahead on the exit of turn 1, then you should be able to break away in a couple of seconds. And then Twilight here from the group. So I was going to mention about lap times. Art Pal, I think, will be probably looking at around about 50s, 51s for race pace. The group 4s without boost, I think we'd be looking at 57s, maybe 58s. So Twilight, having done a 53, is showing that yes, they are getting the boost. Now the car ahead of them, Critical, isn't getting boosters. Conrad making the move on the inside, but Twilight should be able to get a decent run on the exit of the corner and the inside for the next right hand. I mean, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
What? Yeah, Jimmy on the back of Nelly.
I thought it was Stephen R and Connor for a minute.
No, because Connor's fighting Twilight and Jason. We just seen that.
Well, it's very confusing. It's because Connor's name sticks out on the body of that car. A little bit of a touch there between the two, but still all right. So
Nelly's way.
Okay, this is where he's got to be careful now. If he isn't careful, he'll get a little bit wide. Not here, but here in this final corner. Does he get to the apex? Yes, he does. Does he run wide? Oh, nearly. Jimmy.
He does. he was touching that ball.
Well, I think Jimmy was just pushing a little bit more, wasn't he? But again, turn 1, even the group 4s as well. Oh, Nelly's deep there. He's gone in a bit deeper, but using the curve. Jimmy's gone great.
Yeah, just he's taking that inside line. Hopefully, it'll keep him side by side up to the chicane. But no, Nelly's managed to get back ahead. Because if he had that inside line, he could take the have the better line through the chicane here.
Yeah, I think up that hill, the gear ratios of the cars makes a big difference as well. Because, if your gear ratios aren't too friendly around this track, you can be a bit of a sitting duck up the hill. As Twilight is getting absolutely hassled by Jason and Conrad as Art Pal. First two real lap times.
Jason's off. Jason's off.
Yes, Art Pal's done a couple of 50s, then we've got 51s. Rich Blues in the 52s, going along quite nicely at the moment. Critical, he had a 56 where he had his spin and then a 52 recovery. And then we're into the pack. Gary had a 53 at the group. So, yeah, it looks like Gary may not quite have the pace of the other group 3s at the moment. As Jimmy once again trying to battle Nelly. A bit of a switchback might work here in this tight little left-hander. But a feature of a lot of corners around here is if guys are side by side, if you're on that tight line, it's a bit nasty.
Yeah, and we'll see Jimmy in his what was it, in his own habitat, gone sideways.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Chris on the back
crash.
now. Yeah, I think that was Demon R and Twilight. So yeah, that's going to plummet them down a little bit. Oh no, that's SQP, sorry. I was going to say Rift Groups, and then I saw the tyre report, which stops in it, and then I saw it was SQP. Maybe having cars with batching liveries is not a good idea.
I think SUV's got a run on Conrod here, so we might see a move into the chicane.
Possibly. I'd expect Jason to close this gap pretty quickly as well, because as we know, that BM is phenomenally fast in a straight line. I was mentioning a moment ago as well that Gary not quite having the pace of the Group 3s because not being able to get any practice in and a little bit of a rush session before the race, but if he can just focus on getting the car slowed down for the corners, he should be okay. Because the Group 3 has inherently got the pace, hasn't it, to just keep him ahead. And I think if he looks too much backwards, he might not go forwards as quick as he would like. So he's pretty much got better.
Yeah, Gary, I think the Ghost is messing with Gary's car, it's everywhere.
Okay, Jimmy got another run on Nelly, having another look into this tight left-hander. I think if I was Jimmy though, I'd probably look at dummying a move up into this corner to try and get Nelly out of position so that he struggles in the final corner. Just drop back a little bit, but clips the apex nicely, stays well away from the wall this time. That'll help.
Maybe he's not so comfortable on that the left-hander part, the penultimate corner, because sometimes it can be tricky. You can go in a wee bit too fast and it shoots you out wide over the curb and you end up with a penalty. So maybe he's not too confident in that corner, but he's back on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, this is where, yeah, the gear ratio could he be too close to get a good benefit of a slipstream. Nelly defending that inside line. He doesn't want Jimmy going up the inside, but Jimmy, is he going to try it round the outside? He's going to try it. He's going to make it. I think he might have caught Nelly a little bit by surprise there, you know.
Yeah, I think Nelly thought he would back out of that, but I think that was great. The both, although they touched wing mirrors and whatnot, but I think that was a decent move. Oh, Nelly's wide.
I am hearing reports as well that Jimmy has been getting lessons from SRI. He now doesn't know how to back out. And as I said, that SRI involved in a crash. Demon R has also pitted as well. I saw Twilight on the pack cam. Oh, we've got a car going slow on the pack cam.
It's SRI, he's just
no, it wasn't. No, it's ahead of SRI. There's Conrod. Okay. Maybe then it was Conrod that led to SRI being off track. It's just a little bit wide. As we see, Art Paddles again. So, Art Paddles.
Yeah, 150.
Yeah. He's done a couple of them, and then he had a slow lap of a 151. Jimmy into the 50s. Nelly consistent in the 51s. Interesting to see what the lap times be here. I think Jimmy might get a slightly faster lap time. Nelly maybe. Actually, Nelly's done a 50.9. What did Jimmy do then? Because Jimmy overtook Nelly on that lap.
I don't know, I've never seen.
Yeah, well, neither did I. Critical.
52, 53. He's just done a 51, so he's getting back there. Moving on, Gary, 51. So he's getting there. He's on the back. Who's that? Is that Rich? He's getting on the back.
Yeah, so he's closed up on the back of Rich, but I think he's about to get a penalty. Yeah, a little bit deep into turn one, and it's on the pack up. What we got there? I think it was that Nelly and Jimmy.
Oh, Nelly, here it is. Nelly and Jimmy side by side. Jimmy going wide round that corner, try to keep the speed up and have the inside line for this corner, and hopefully gets his car moved across so he's got that side for the next corner. He's thinking about it. He's not defending it. He's letting Nelly have a look.
He was ready to defend it. I think he got to a point where it's like, I don't know, it's just that little wiggle though. You'll need to defend now because Nelly will have a look at this one. Maybe if it is just to get Jimmy out of position, yeah. So trying to get Jimmy out of shape might not happen there. But, be interesting to see how Jimmy copes with the penultimate corner. there's a brake marker board in the middle of the road. Hopefully nobody brakes at that point. Yes, it'd be interesting to see how Jimmy gets on with this corner coming up now, with him being ahead of Nelly instead of behind him.
Yeah, the difference of the dirty air as well. So I think he's. I don't know. I think Nelly's went a wee bit wide in the last corner. Never hit the apex, but it looks like he's got a bigger gap. Jimmy has, so maybe it was the dirty air that's been bothering him.
Maybe. Well, his previous lap when he
Oh,
opened...
really? I thought he was going for it there.
but yeah, so Jimmy's previous lap when he opened up Nelly was a 50.1. He's just done a 50.7. Yeah, got a little deep at turn 1 though. Nelly will have a damn good run at him here. Obviously, it's great to see these guys battling it out. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the pack cam, but we're watching this. Is Nelly going to do to Jimmy what Jimmy did to Nelly? No, he's not.
Oh, Jimmy took a lot of curb there. Is he going to get a penalty?
Oh, he is.
Yes, he does. That was a lot of curb.
I wonder though if he took a lot of curb there to try and compensate for if Nelly was going to be beside him. So it'd be easy for people to look at that and go, oh, it's got a corner, but I look at it slightly different. Okay, he may have cut the corner, but he has got a penalty. But his reason for being over there was to give Nelly plenty of space. Perhaps not realising that Nelly had backed out of that one. But for Nelly, now he just needs to relax a moment because Jimmy serves his penalty, Nelly makes the move, and away he goes. And then we can go and have a look at the pack.
Yeah, Rich and Gary are falling back into the clutches of the pack.
It's not Rich.
Is it not?
No, he's carrying SGP.
Oh, it's SGP.
I thought it was
he was ahead. SGP was ahead of Gary when I was watching the pack cam, and then he isn't.
Yeah, I think Gary must have had a bit of a moment somewhere, perhaps had to come back through the pack. He's also just had to, no, SGP just had to serve a penalty. It'd be interesting if we could see how Gary's getting on around the track here, because there's a few key corners where in the Group 3s, if you struggle, you're going to lose a lot of time, and I'm wondering if that's what's happening with Gary. So, for example, the Group 4s can go through this left-hander and the right-hander faster than a Group 3, but how's Gary getting on? Oh, it's deep. Yeah, so he's going to be very slow mid-corner and exit. Jason pitted. So what would that do for Gary then going down straight?
Sorry, what was the question?
What would that do for Gary going down straight after going deep into the final corner?
He'd have a slower exit.
Absolutely.
So he wouldn't have the ultimate top end speed that he would have if he hit the apex and got on the power a wee bit sooner. As SGP's looking up the inside of Conrad into the chicane. Conrad's got a second penalty somewhere. Oh, I think SGP's going to have a penalty.
Maybe he was a little slow on the exit there. It kind of gives him a little bit of looks interesting. The Group 4s on their soft tyres punishing at the front left a little bit. The Group 3s shouldn't really have any issues as SGP and Conrad still side by side. And this left-hander and the right-hander coming up, fascinating corners because you can be attempting to overtake in one and then being overtaken in the other. So Conrad's got the inside line as we see it on the pack cam, but that's it's just understeered wide and then SRI makes the move on the two of them.
Yeah, and Conrad's got a second penalty as well as Jimmy in the back of Nelly again. Fantastic racing, and these two don't have boost, and look how much great racing we're getting from them.
Absolutely. Okay, so Jimmy closing in. I mean, it'd be interesting as well. I mean, I can't keep my eyes on both cameras, but we saw Gary go a little bit deep through the final corner. We've seen Jimmy and Nelly go through those last two corners a few times now, and they do seem to be getting the apex of the final corner quite nicely. And once again, Gary, I think, has struggled with that final corner because on the pack cam, SRI was nearly passing him on the exit of it.
Sorry, I wasn't watching. I'm too busy watching Nelly and Jimmy.
Oh,
SRI's wide. That's going to let SGP through.
I think Jimmy's going to get a penalty. He just had a moment when deep at the exit of the chicane on the right-hand side. Who's that Art pal we're looking at now? looking comfortable on his lap time, looking comfortable on his fuel. SRI has got a penalty.
Yeah, and he's still looking, even though he's got a penalty, he's still trying to fight through.
There was a big hop on the curve there for a moment. SGP with SRI right up his shufter. Gary still just ahead, so this is quite interesting. Ooh. Look at SRI, got a little bit on the grass there. He's going to have to get those tyres cleaned up on the pack cam. There's that Jimmy behind Nelly. I think it is Jimmy behind Nelly. Yeah, because there's the R between SGP and SRI.
Yeah, SRI's got a half-second penalty to take here, so we'll see Demon R and SGP move further away.
Here's an interesting bit of information for you. Okay, so 7th place has boost. From what we've been seeing, around that 7th place, the guys have been lapping in around about the 153s. Demon R, though, pitted a few laps ago, and with completely clear air as he gets rid of the remarkable, a 147.8. So that's 6 seconds faster than the guys that have got a bit of boost. Now, some people may be wondering, well, hang on, how can there be 2 different levels of boost? There isn't. Demon R behind Gary here, in the corners, getting no boost. Gary pulls away down the straight, gets a second ahead. Demon R starts getting boost. Get to the corner, Demon R closes that gap to within a second, gets no boost. So it's not a level of boost, it's boost being on and off, depending on how close they are to Gary.
Yeah, plus if Demon R's pitted, he's going to be further back, so the boost would be a little bit more stronger. So
no, the boost is the same for 7th place as it is for 12th.
Sure?
Yep, 100% certain. That is exactly why I've just talked about what I'm doing. If you don't remember us admins like testing it for weeks and realising that the boost is exactly the same from that first boost position to the last boost position. The reason why it's different.
Tests.
Yeah, so the reason why there's kind of 2 boost speeds here is because the car in 7th place, when it's within a second to Gary, gets no boost. Gary goes off on the straight, they get a boost, so they're doing 153s. Being way back, where you get boost for the whole lap, that's where you get the full maximum benefit of the boost. But yeah, it's not graded in any way, shape, or form. Because if it was so what was the point I was going to make?
That's right.
Okay, it looks like the pack cam might be riding on board with Artpound. Did that a couple of races ago. Saw that he was very, very smooth. Let's see how he is through the chicane edge. No drums on the steering wheel, is there?
Yeah.
As we are now. 3 wide. Or 2 wide, now 1 wide. Demon R ahead of Twilight. SGP is SRI. Oh, Gary's gone wide. That'll be a penalty.
Demon R went a bit wide as well, so, but I don't know. If that's going to be a penalty, it might not.
We shall soon see. Possibly slows down in a few minutes' time. But yeah, so for Gary there, that running a little bit wide, I think he will get a penalty. So once again, a breakaway down the straight. But then a little bit further down the lap, he's going to lose a bit more time. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting in a way because if Gary was able to, I'm going to say pick up his pace, but actually get his braking a little bit better to get through the corners a little bit smoother, not fast or quick. I think Gary could pull away, and if Gary pulls away, he would actually pull these guys along with him, because with full boost, the Group 4 cars could do 147s. So if Gary could get into, say, the 151s, then the Group 4s could do sort of 151s as well. Is it all confusing you a bit now? Oh. Accidentally what? Muted yourself?
No, press pause and press play again.
Oh, right, okay. So,
I was clicking on something else and then the screen.
oh dear.
My mouse moved on. I forgot my mouse moved on.
Okay. Oh, 2 wheels on the grass. So he's definitely struggling with that final corner, and that is what is really killing him at the moment. SGP, because if he was ever to get the final corner a bit better, it'd be double the distance he currently is. He also might be struggling with the first corner because of struggles with the final corner. Yeah, I think he's gone wide again, you know.
I don't really see us, but we've got Demon R on the back of Twilight coming up the hill here. It's been a strange one, hasn't it, for Gary the past couple of races? I think he's not had the time to practice, and the updates are messing with him as well. So, and he's got a lot on. So yeah, I think maybe once everything settles down, we might see from Gary that gets to know the track a wee bit, or gets on that wee bit earlier, able to do some practice as Demon R's looking around Twilight. Is Demon R went white?
Nope.
Twilight's went white? No, Demon R's. I think you put him off.
Yeah, well, maybe
not off the track,
well,
but
no.
put him off back. But Twilight's coming back.
Doing the dummy move and getting Twilight looking in his mirrors, and that's one reason why you're doing a dummy move. But Twilight, if you can just sneak up the inside here, we'll have the inside line for this left-hander. The time on gets the move done. Probably going to try and there's Conrad closing in. I think Conrad has pitted as well in this because his tyres were taken. Oh, Gary, a little wide again. So, oh, I'm very wide again. Oh!
Twilight won the pits.
Oh, Gary! Oh dear. So yeah, a little unfortunately, Gary got a little bit sideways there. Kind of collected Twilight and then got collected by other cars. Yeah, it does kind of look a little bit like Gary's just trying to go too fast in the final corner. And he might be in that catch-22 situation of he's trying to speed up by going faster. What he needs to do is speed up by going slower. Demon R then just ahead. Twilight, Jason, who was also pitted, taking a slipstream.
How long ago did Jason pit? Because look at his tyres.
Well, it's a good question. It might have been a lap or two. In fact, it might have been at the same time as Connor. No, it might have been a lap.
How many laps is it taken? SRI's
Whoa! Round she goes! Yeah, that was one hell of a skid mark left in his pants. I was going to say track, but it's in his pants. Move on the inside by Jason by the looks of it. Yes, it is. On Conrad. Let's see if Jason can carry the speed up to the next line. Right hander. Gary, is that Gary? Yeah, Gary looking, trying to get back through. Can we get it slowed down? Careful now though, because in the slow corners the Group 4s are faster, they've got more grip, got better tyres. Gary lost speed on the main straights. This is where Gary crucially has got to get these last two corners right, mainly this final corner. I thought he was getting sideways again. He's kind of still outside the pit lane line, isn't he? So perhaps a better corner, but they're saying that, right? Watkins Glenl is a track we don't drive on that often, and Gary doesn't get to come on for practice, so it's probably a good chance that Gary doesn't really know this track that well.
Yeah, the amount of times if Gary was online, we haven't really used Watkins Glenl, but I think we have used Watkins Glen's quite a bit.
Yes.
Just one of the nice tracks to go to. Now he's got a bit of a gap now, it's just keeping it. That's all he's got to do, but he's got that fast Jason with that BMW behind him, and he's quite wide coming out that long right-hander there, so...
I think that might be another penalty, unfortunately, on the pack cam. That's Jimmy. Trying to see if we can do anything about Nelly, but Nelly's got a bit of a gap on him. It does look a bit like Gary is trying to speed up by going.
Connor pitted in lap 10 by the looks of it,
Yeah.
and then look at his two lap times, 147 and 147.
Yeah, so that's the full boost lap time, which is interesting because that, actually, I'm going to say something sense. Well, it would. Okay, so if we were all in the same cars, full boost normally tends to be a gain of about 6 seconds as Connor and Jason side by side through the penultimate. See if Gary can get that corner. Not on this occasion, he's still a little wide, but better. Okay, so he's definitely working on it, but Gary will now open this gap up a bit more. That's much better. Jason can't do a lot about it because Connor's got his slipstream. Oh, I thought Jason was...
I think, who was that behind Demonar? Twilight gave Demonar a hit before, just the breaking point, because I've seen a puff of black smoke.
Well, maybe the Pope hasn't been selected yet. Okay, so Connor got a bit of a run. He did go a little bit deeper to one. Demonar and Connor side by side. Connor is going to try and fight it. It can be done. Nice move. Yeah, it can be done as long as both drivers are sensible. See Demonar, he pitted a while ago. Oh, Connor's wide. That might be a penalty.
I don't know, because it's his full 4 tyres going over there. It's quite narrow, isn't it, with the barrier beside the track there or not? We'll soon find out. We might not do it this lap because...
No, he's got a penalty, but he's moved over and his car's slowing down. Now, unless that's for a penalty from turn 1 where he was a little wide...
Because if he got the penalty there, it wouldn't have activated that quick, and so he would slow down, go on to the next lap because he's so close to the penalty line, I think. Well, that's what usually happens, I'm sure.
Right, come on Gary, get the final corner right on this occasion. You got it better, and you open up a bit more. Gap still wide, but not...
Connor's on the pits.
Okay, 6-7 laps to go. Okay, Jason up the inside of Demonar, actually trying to have a look at the turn. Twilight! That was a bit of an
Everybody's waiting. Everybody's waiting. It's alright, isn't, but everybody else is waiting.
Well, I don't think they were waiting, I think they were recovering. Yeah, so...
Twilight's gone. It started. Twilight's away, but SGP's... What did SGP do? I did see him take a lot of curb into turn 1 on the inside apex, but...
Looked like, from what I saw, he did tag the back of Twilight. Twilight into Demonar. Okay, so SRI, he has pitted, well, fresh-ish tyres, fresher tyres than Jason ahead. As we have another look at Art Pal, he's done a 49 and then he's just done a big bundle of 50s. Nelly, 50s, 51s, 50s, going quite nicely. Jimmy's going nicely as well in the 50s. Critical, his lap times have come down. Some 51, 50, 51, 50. I'm okay with that. Obviously, I mean, 51, 50 is better than 51, 51, 51. But yeah, if you could get consistent 50s, it would be better. He had a bit of a bad one there, though. He was a 52. Rich Blues consistently improving on his lap times. That's good. I like it. So 53. So I wonder what he'll do on this lap. Is he going to get a 51? He is going to get a 51. So Rich Blues really coming into this. Then we've got Gary, who... Okay, so his best lap has been a 148, and I think that was when he really got the final corner done proper. He's got a bit of a gap now. Let's see if he can settle down a little bit. SRI He's been in the 48s. He's been with quite a lot of boost, as I've just knocked over a big box. And then we've got SGP and a couple of cars pitting up.
Yeah, Jason's pitting, Twilight pitting.
Okay, so I don't know whether their tyres would have made it to the end with them having a boost. It might make sense to go for fresh tyres. Conrad did that a lap or so ago. Yeah, I'd expect him to pick up some decent lap times now. Just ahead of Jason. At the moment, we've got one twat at the front and another twat at the back.
Or sandwiched by a couple of twats. It's alright. On the back again.
It is, yeah. Gary's had a bit of a bad start to this lap. What he must have done for SRI to be that close to it. But again, this is a situation where all Gary needs to do is just be calm and focus. He's got the car to open up the gap.
Maybe SRI got the wind to pick up right on the back.
Maybe. Carried in the wind. I think Gary just had a big sideways moment there. Arpal making his way through the chicane, looking fairly untroubled. He's the current championship leader. I also think Rich Blues is going to need to change his entry message when he comes to races. I don't think he can any longer say he's got more poles or wins than Arpal.
Yeah. I think he's lost that.
Well, yeah, he's got 3 poles.
Wait there, is it not about 8 or 9? Because every race he ended up in 8th place, which gave him the pole for the next race.
Well,
so it's about 8, wasn't it?
Well, he didn't pole, did he? He didn't win. He was, I suppose, yeah. But probably say,
it should be on back at SRI now. It should be going for the move.
Nice overtake there. SRI will have a bit of a run back at it. Funnily enough, seeing the sponsor on the side of SGP's car, Mulligan's, someone actually said to him the other day, sounds like an Irish pub, which he kind of does. But he did make me, what's the worst pub you've ever been in?
Worst pub I've ever been in? Not really been in any worst pubs because I kind of like to go to the old man bars and sit with the old men and have them tell the stories when the world looked great, you know?
Yeah, when pints didn't cost £7. Well, the worst one I've been in was called the Fiddle. It was a vile pit.
Alright. We're getting nearly 3 wide here. SRI and SGP and Demon R. SGP going to keep that. Is SRI going to try and keep him tight? No, he's giving them plenty of room.
And he is as they go side by side. This will help Gary out actually. Come on, Gary, get this final corner nailed. He has. He's got below the yellow line. I don't mean to be sounding sarcastic with that, but if you get down below that yellow line, you get so much more speed down the straight. It'll be so quick. And look, he's almost buggered off. Can he get round turn 1? No, he's wide. He was wide in the middle. I hope he wasn't wide on the exit.
I don't know, but SRI was trying to get back in behind SGP down that start-finish straight and wasn't too sure of how close Demon R was.
Now, I did start mentioning earlier about if we're all in the same car, the boost, like the boost level you get would be about 6 or 7 seconds over a full lap. But full boost here is a gain of around about 10 seconds for the Group 4s. And it took my brain a little time to work out why it's SRI, I think, on the inside of SGP into the downhill left-hander. SRI gets that move done. Gonna start fighting back on the exit. Maybe not. Demon R's there. Oh, he is. He's looking up the inside. But can't do anything about it. Yeah, so because the Group 3s are so fast, the amount of boost the Group 4s can get would appear to be increased. Instead of it being a 6-second potentially a 10-second boost.
Oh, going through wide. No, SGP's backed out. But Demon R's are going to hold it round outside. He's trying, but SGP's came in the inside, but Demon R's got the next two corners of the inside.
Yeah, giving the space, the tight line. It's tricky. As Connor and Jason are starting to close in now on their fresh tyres as Demon R all over the apex curb there. But I'm trying to make sure it gives room. Gary close to the yellow line on this occasion. Getting a slightly better exit. Demon R pulled down. SRI never did.
Yeah.
SRI was giving Demon R plenty of space there. Demon R wasn't really going for it, but decided, yeah, if the room's there, I will go. But now SGP giving SRI, was giving SRI a bit of a bump draft. Not anymore. Who's going to get the slipstream then? SGP. SRI. SGP. SRI. I thought that was a bit of a bobbly entry for Demon R into the chicane there. You'd have to be careful if you go in too fast. Yeah, it can bounce you quite heavily over the first curve. As Jimmy,
149.
wow, yeah, and he's been closing in on Nelly.
Oh, he's got a couple of 149s.
Yeah. No, he hasn't. But he's got one on that list. I think he's had a couple.
Oh, I think it was just because it was the way he covered.
Yeah, But either way, Jimmy and Nelly are having one hell of a race here.
That's a nice quick back in front of Demon R and SGP again.
Yes, he has. So, yeah, I mean, Arpal may be up the road a little bit, but I don't think he's that far up the road that he can afford to lose concentration. Because if he does...
Gary's at the moment, he's back behind the Group 4s.
I wonder if that might maybe serving a penalty. I don't know if it's that a crash.
No, it was coming into the last couple of corners. You could see him coming down there with Jason.
Yeah, okay, down into turn 1. Hopefully Gary get this slowed down nicely. Does just manages to slot in. You're going to have to be careful here though, pick your line, because if you go slightly too off the line, this left-hander gets very tricky. You can get a bit wobbly. Yes, you see Gary's not actually had the speed up the hill there. Being a little cautious. Oh, and it's wide!
Yeah, he's nearly hit the wall there, the barrier, sorry. Jason's going for a move on SRI.
Oh, that may have been a little bit of a touch. Oh, and another touch. And the carrier bag's crumpled up against the wall. It's SGP now, having a look around the outside of Demon R. Jimmy on the pack cam, still right behind Nelly, putting the pressure on. As Nelly's teammate here, Conrad.
Jimmy's wide. Is it going to give him a penalty?
Well, he would hope not. Arpal is about to start the last lap of the race as Connor and Jason are side by side now, and SGP trying to get in on this action as well.
Yep.
Into the...
Here we go.
Jimmy's on it.
Jimmy must have had a good drive out of turn 1.
Yeah.
Even though he was that little bit wide, it looked he was wide, but the computer says no because he's not got a penalty, so...
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the benefit of having tits on your car. People like it. So, Nelly then. Let's see Nelly's lap times have been brilliant.
Is it tits on the car or a couple of tits in the car?
Both. Oh, Jimmy, what a run! What a run through the corner! Catches Nelly a little bit off guard. What a move! Oh, Nelly fighting back, having a look at the inside. Jimmy, can he get it slowed down?
He's trying to do what Demon R did, or was it Demon R or SGP did to Twilight a couple of corners ago, a few laps ago, and it made Twilight...
Oh, Nelly!
Oh, Nelly!
Oh, no! Oh, pal, he's coming round the final corner. He's not round the final corner. He's going to take another victory. It's 3 in a row maximum points plus bonus points. Jimmy, what a race he's had. Second place. It's his second place in a row. What could have been if he'd have been able to make the first race. Nelly, for the second out of 3 races, a spin on the last lap, costing him a position. At Brazil, it was for losing a win. But yeah, here it's lost the second place. For Critical though, his lap time's got a lot more consistent. Nice to see. He's going to cross the line in 4th place. We've got Rich Blue somewhere not near the finish line yet, as it's very busy behind Gary. Whoa, whoa!
Come on, 7 penalty.
Yeah, and Jason, they both served a penalty by the looks of it. Yeah, they did, as Rich Blues, his lap times improved as well. Oh, what a finish. The only time he was really sideways was across the finish line as Gary nearly takes the some extra tyres with him. I've got to say, for a tough race for Gary, he's done brilliantly well in this scenario, as it's still busy in the pack. SGP closing in on Gary, runs wide, tags the wall, and here comes Twilight. Is Twilight going to get him? Is Twilight going to get him? No! Oh, yeah, no he doesn't. Oh, yeah, no he doesn't. That doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, no he doesn't. Wow, okay, what a race. And an SRI recovering from that crash up at the chicane. Oh, what a race. What a race.
Yeah, well, fantastic by all drivers.
I tell you what, I mean, well done to Art Pal there. Obviously, pole position and the win. And one of the things that we knew would happen in this championship is it is going to give those drivers that are usually a little bit further down the grid a very different type of racing to do. So those that are a bit further back normally are racing in the pack, racing with boost. It's as the Group 4s are really realising now, it's a very different type of racing in that pack. So for the likes of Art Pal to take the victory here in the way that he has is absolutely brilliant, because this, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but it might do. We've seen in previous championships, as Art Pal's been learning his trade, Art Pal making mistakes and spinning and having crashes. He hasn't had a spin today. There hasn't been anyone near him to make him, like, to hit him off, but Art Pal's amount of mistakes have been reduced. And I mean, as you'll know, right, I've always said the person who makes the least amount of mistakes has the best chance of winning, because if you make mistakes, you're probably not going to win. You can, I mean, look at Critical. So Critical had a little bit of a trickier race earlier on, but once he settled down, going to a rhythm, going to a groove, no mistakes, good result. But yeah, so well done to Art Pal on the victory there. A really good showing. But for Art Pal as well, yes, the battle hasn't necessarily been attacked by another car. There was the first half of the race where Jimmy and Nelly were close enough that he couldn't afford to make a mistake, and then it's a different type of mental pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, to just try to keep the car on the track, not overheat his tyres, and just try to calm yourself.
But also trying to not do things like I've done before, driving along going, oh, what shall I have for dinner tonight? Oh, barrier! Yeah,
that tastes nice.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so let's take a look then at the confirmed race results, because I do believe there have been no reports placed. However, there is going to be something that me and Ray are going to talk about. Actually, no, you know what? We'll talk about it now. We'll put the confirmed race result up on the screen, but we will talk about this now. And again, I'm dropping this on Ray without any pre-warning. So recently we've noticed a bit of lag issues. So at Brazil, there were a few instances I remember seeing where, with Ray's car, for example, visually I saw Ray's car doing some odd movements and then going off the track, and I didn't see him getting hit. but having looked back at some footage on Ray's view on Ray's replay of his race, there was contact. On Jason's replay, there was no contact. There was like a couple of feet between the cars, and we noticed that this happened on a couple of occasions with a couple of different people. And was it SGP put a report in on Jason last week, so we did look into whether that was the case there. However, it wasn't. Both Jason's replay and SGP's replay showed the same thing. There was a little bit of contact. However, out of admin interest, I did have a look at a couple of other items where I think it was with Twilight, where he felt there was contact, and if there was that lag there as well, and potentially yes. And to be honest, before this race, I was meaning to try and get a message put out to all of the drivers, and Jason, to sort of say, let's just give Jason an extra couple of yards, because if the synchronization is off, let's just give each other an extra couple of feet, because if on your own screen you don't see contact, you don't know that anything's wrong. But if your other person you're racing with is getting smashed, then obviously they're two different perspectives of what's happening. However, Ray, I do believe you have found some interesting news today.
Well, yeah, I have, but I've not tested it yet. But no. To see how much of a difference it's going to make, but
we are going to test it.
Yeah, we are going to test it. So, the host of the lobby really needs to have good internet, because it's give me a second, I get the terminology up. Oh, a fucking big word for me, eh?
Yeah, another one, yeah. Get it up. well, while you're doing that,
yeah. So the host of the Gran Turismo 7 lobby can absolutely cause lag for other players in the lobby. This is because the game uses a peer-to-peer system, so person-to-person system, where the host's internet connection determines the overall lobby experience. If the host has a weak connection, and it can lead to lag for everyone in the lobby. So peer-to-peer connection is GT open lobbies they're set up peer-to-peer, meaning a host console acts as a central point for data exchange between all players. So like when we had the last week, where SGP was ahead. Was it SGP? It was ahead of Steve F1.
Yeah, but he swapped him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because SGP had the slower internet hosting the thing compared to what Steve F1 has. So there was that lag, and the lobby just kind of had a glitch and went, no, Steve F1's in front, when quite clearly it wasn't.
Yeah, because on both drivers' replays, SGP was ahead.
And also the host internet speed and stability directly impact the quality of connection for everyone else in the lobby. So like lag and jitter will be if the host has a slow connection or unstable connection. There is other factors like other players' connection and network conditions can also contribute to the lag, and there's pit lag. Yes. We know about this, but I didn't. It wasn't until I actually read it I was like, oh shit! So that is actually a thing. I thought it was.
No, I mean the pit lag is an interesting one, because it is something that we have seen actually during races before, like a little lag spike, and everyone go, whoa, a load of lag, and then it's like, oh, someone's just pitted. I wonder if that could be it. So that's interesting. But so, I mean, with the peer-to-peer thing, basically, if I've got this right, the way it kind of works is, so SGP's been the host, and let's be fair, his internet is not slow. However, he might be on Wi-Fi.
It's not fast.
Well, no, compared to some, it's not fast. So SGP, as the host, his internet is effectively...
What's he doing on Wi-Fi?
Well, don't know. His internet is or his PlayStation is effectively the server. So every other person in the lobby, their connection is to the host. So the way I believe it works is peer-to-peer is everybody in the lobby is connected to the host, and because everybody in the lobby is connected to the host, that connection then connects them to everybody else. So like me through SGP connects me to SRI, not Demon R connects to SRI. And that's why if the speed is unstable or not fast enough, then there could be issues. So, but as I said, SGP's internet isn't exactly slow. However, let's say, for example, Gary here today, he's had a bit of lag, but we also know that he's had issues with Virgin Media, have got issues at the moment. So let's say if Gary was the host of the lobby, what we found out is we would be screwed, pretty much. Now, one of the things that we will do is we will change who the lobby host is. I think SRI is going to be lobby host, because I think SGP is running about 100 and some, 70 download, 20 upload.
I don't know, he never shared a picture, did he?
No, he just said Steve F1 is running 300 and something download, 70 upload. I'm running 120, 130 download, about 20 upload. And SRI has 800 and something download, and how much upload?
96.
Yeah, so SRI is going to be the host of the next Monday Night Lobby. We'll give it a try and we'll see if it does stabilise things. Now, we're not saying that by doing that it's going to fix every lag issue. So, for example, Gary here today had lag. If SRI was the host and that makes it more stable, Gary may still have a bit of lag. It just might not be as much. But also we have to remember that for SRI, yes, he might have those mega scores, but he's also got a lot of people in the house on the internet. So
yeah, well, we are going to test it. Check from the like that's PC download time. It's not Wi-Fi. It's hardwired to the PC. Download speeds and upload speeds. So check it first. Well. In fact, I actually should check it. Now, while the kids are
active, while they're all watching their blue movies.
And also, it's not the PS5 because I have seen a difference in the PS5. I don't know what it is. It might be the cable into PS5. I might go and get a new, whatever the newest cat number of internet cable is, and stick that from the PS5 to the router, which helps as well. So, say I think I'm on cat 6 or 8. I can't remember it. So it's different.
Don't tell the missus you're on pussy number 7.
It's different types of the way the wiring is. The wiring is. So when you get as technology progresses in that, the cat cables progress as well. So find out what's the best category of your internet cable wire that you would need. So that might be something I do tomorrow, is go and see what the best cat cable is for PS5 to my router, because I think I've got the most modern Cat 5 from my router to where the internet comes, the fibre comes in. And also I want to pull up a point on SGP. If he's Wi-Fi, he's not practicing what he preaches. He should be hardwired. If that's what he practices, that's what he preaches.
Yeah. He might be hardwired, but I'm pretty sure where his server is, I don't think he can get a wire to it. I could be wrong. I really don't know, but I know. I mean, his internet speeds should be more than good enough. Because I would guess the internet speed test he did would have been on his PlayStation, but we'll find out. Well, you know what? I've not asked him for a while, but I've got a feeling that it might be Wi-Fi or boosted through the electricals. Okay, right.
So, well, I'm done. So, I've got the wife on the internet and she's watching a movie via internet. I've got 3 kids on the internet and we're in a chat in Discord and I've got the internet running and I'll just give you my scores in a little second. It's just about to
Piss
finish.
myself if it would have went 10 and 4.
No, 831 and 97 upload.
Fair enough. Yeah, so SRI's hosting the lobby from now. Well, the thing is, we the next Monday, SRI is going to be hosting the lobby, I believe, and we'll see if it makes a difference. If for whatever reason there's still issues, Steve F1 can always try hosting the lobby. If need be, I could host the lobby. But one of the things I tend to do is I live stream my race, so I can't really live stream and host because that would put my internet capability at less than what SGP's is, I believe. But we'll see. I mean, I remember obviously there's been a lot of discussions about lag in the lobbies for a long time with GT7, and the odd question of, well, like, is there anything we can do about if it's the same people lagging all the time? Well, we've been trying to do everything we can, but it's
And it says JP's fault all the time.
It could be, yeah. But it's one of those things. When it comes to lag issues, it's never a simple fix because it's never just one thing. So it's like, I mean, we could change SRI for SGP and everybody could have worse lag. But that could.
I doubt that.
Well, yeah, we'll see. It depends on how drunk the Scottish internet is. Right. Anyway, we've waffled on loads there, so we really should confirm the race result. So let's do that. So Art Pal taking the victory, the maximum 20 points with the bonus point for pole position. We then got Jimmy in second place, 17 points for him, with Nelly in third place taking 15 points. Critical, his best result in the championship so far, fourth place on 13 points. I think it's his best or it's tied best. Rich Blues, fifth place, and they said 15th, but it's fifth place with 12 points. And then we've got Formula Gary in sixth place, taking 11, and that rounds out the Group 3s for this race.
Yeah, and in seventh place we've got SGP with 10 points, followed by Twilight. It was a close, followed by Twilight. 8th place, 9 points, and Demon R not that far back, 9th. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
8th place
it's really difficult because I've been doing it for ages. 8th is 9th, and then 9th is 8th. You're like, hey, what, hey?
And then Demon R 9th place with 8 points, followed by Conrad, who did a late pit stop, 10th place with 7. And Jason, I think he did the same, a late pit stop, 11th place with 6 points. And then SRI, after his crash up in the chicane, 12th with 5. And we have Steve F1, did not start, Hay, and the Ghost Rider did not start. And there's a seat available, so if you see us on Facebook and you want to get involved, hit up SRI, GTT League _SRI and or GTT League _SGP on PlayStation Network System, whatever you want to call it. Send them a message. We'll get our page, our Facebook page. Send it to the page, as we say, and we'll try and get on with you. So make sure you are what we are looking for.
Someone with very good internet. So just to mention as well, Jason getting the bonus point as well for pole position of the Group 4s this week. Okay, so let's take a look then at the Drivers' Championship standings. So 3 races in, we've got Art Pal on 63 points. He's had 3 wins and 3 pole positions. Rich Blues and Nelly tied in second place now, 42 points for the both of them, 21 behind Art Pal. Jimmy in 4th place, missed the first race. I think like Rich, Nelly, and Jimmy would have been so close if Jimmy had been able to make the first race. But yeah, 34 points for Jimmy, 29 off the lead.
Yeah, and then we've got SJP. I'm sure he has jumped it. I'm sure last week SRI was the leading Group 4, but SJP 5th place with 29 points, and then tied 6th place is SRI and Twilight with 27 points.
Yep. Critical 8th place on 25 points, 38 off Art Pal.
And then followed by Demon R, tied 9th place. I may as well just do both of them. Demon R and former Gary on 24 points. And then we've got Jason 11th place with 23 points. Conrad missed the first race, 12 with 13 points. Steve F1, he wasn't here for this race, and he did not finish Brazil, so he's 13th with 10 points, and then who we've not seen.
Yeah.
And hey, if you're watching this, send a message, let us know you're alright.
Yeah, absolutely. But to be fair, I did notice that Hayed sent a message to the YouTube video a few weeks ago. Apologies, didn't spot that. He did say I wouldn't be able to make I can't guarantee my attendance at the moment. You might want to put Nelly with SRI. Even if we'd have seen that before the start of the season, we wouldn't have done that. We'd have put SRI with Gary, and then they could have been Ray Gay or Gay Ray.
What?
Come on.
Do you know what the worst part about having a gay son would be?
Oh God, go on.
Washing the skid marks out of the front of his underwear.
Oh, bloody hell, Ray.
Well, you brought that up.
Oh, I didn't bring up the... Oh, bloody hell. That's gross.
Also, if you were addicted to masturbation and then you became addicted to sex, would you say your addiction get out of hand?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. But it could be worse. I fingered a gypsy girl on a period. I got my palm red for nothing.
I've seen that.
I also had to go and have an operation yesterday, and I asked the surgeon if I could administer my own anaesthesia. He said, "Go ahead, knock yourself out." Should we have a look at the team standings?
Did you know Germany created sparkling water?
Oh God, go on.
Who else would have thought of to add gas to water?
It probably was a German that invented the soda stream. Okay, let's take a look at the Teams with a Twist series team standings. We have Team Twat, that's Twilight and Art Pal, topping the standings on 90 points, 19 ahead of the Dodge Viper Power Trips of SGP and Rich Blues. In 3rd place, we've got Trust in the Speed in the Nissans. That's Jimmy and Demon R. 58 points, 32 off the top. Then we've got Rod on Your Nelly in 4th place. That's Conrad and Nelly. 55 points, 35 off the top. And then we've got BMW Fartlag, which is Jason and Critical. In 5th place on 48 points. And then we've got Jag 2 Wits in 6th place, Steve F1 and Formula Gary on 34 points. And as you mentioned, Steve F1 unable to make the race this week with him being at Alton Park, doing a bit of work, doing a write-up on the, is it the GB4s, I think it is, So yeah, wasn't able to make the race this week. In 7th place, we've got Hayraker and the Baby Maker in 27 points. And then we've got the Ghost Racer. He's so ghostly, we see 0.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a GP4 race.
Okay. Okay, what's the next track, Ray?
Monza.
It is. It's Monza with the chicanes. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of a couple of tips here for those guys in the Group 3s. Don't brake late around Monza. If you brake late and hard and stay on the brakes, the car will not want to slow down for you. I am going to give probably the biggest tip I could ever give for Monza, and that is for turn 1, the car.
On the track.
Well, yeah, there is that. For turn 1, the car will slow down better if you go fully on the brakes and then come off the brakes to about 3/4 and then come off the brakes a bit more. The slower you go, come off the brakes. If you stay fully on the brakes, it will actually not want to stop for the corner. Brake early. Yeah, brake early, brake gentle, get the car slowed down to enter the corner and make your apexes. Once you've made your apexes, get off that steering, be gentle with your throttle, and trust in the power of your Group 3 on the many straights of Monza. If you try and fight a Group 4 in the corners around Monza, you will lose. But we can't fight you on the straights, so be sensible in those corners and use that power on the straights.
Yeah, I was going to say use that throttle like you would when you're having sex with your missus, but some like it hard.
Well, you wouldn't want your missus to be hard, would you? Oh dear.
Sexy and numpty.
Well, it's a bit like, I mean, they say having a small penis is no big deal, but it is if it's on your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, so Monza, the next track.
From experience?
No. And then after Monza, we've got the Arc at Seaside. That's going to be an interesting one. Okay, I've got one thing I want to mention to finish up on, and that is that I have been playing the guitar for years, and so I thought I could learn to play the piano. It turns out it's not an easy instrument to pick up.
Not at all.
Right, and on that G note, thank you, Ray, for joining us on commentary.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the drivers, for the great racing that we've seen today, and all the seasons that we've had with them. I don't know how many years it's been, but...
Too many.
No,
it hasn't.
Too many, and thank you, the ones behind the scenes, helping making this league what it is.
Absolutely. I've actually got one final question to ask you, Ray.
What?
What's the best thing you could have on under your kilt?
What's the best thing you could have on under your kilt? Under your kilt, if you're a true Scotsman, nothing.
Lipstick. You'll get that in a minute.
No, because if you've got lipstick on, then you wouldn't get a blowjob.
No, the lipstick's from that, you... Oh, dear.
I know what you were... I know.
Yeah. Oh, well. Right, anyway, thank you, everybody. You know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, smash that notifications bell. Please send us jokes, as I'm getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, when you get to the point of making jokes about the Germans and gas, you know it's hit a new low. Right, have a good day, everybody. I will see you all again soon.